Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Gracefully Open.
Ela quer booty, fake baby. Legal, he sent me the magic.
Hey guys, welcome back to Gracefully Open. For those of you who are new here, my name is Mona. I'm the host for this YouTube channel. If you're not new here, welcome. It's always a pleasure to have you guys. All right, so today I have with me another guest. Her name is Tashika Roberts. She is a community health aide in the Stony Hill area, and she's also a member at the Pentecostal City Mission Church in Blakesbridge. So, Miss Roberts, how are you feeling today?
Actually, I am excited to be on the program,
Yeah.
and I am so grateful that you chose me to be a part of this program.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. And I'm also happy to have you as well. I know
Thank
that
you.
I'm really anticipating this conversation that we're about to have because I know that God is going to do a great one through it. But before we get into the questions, things like that, I have two icebreakers. Nothing major. So the first one is, what's your favorite Bible verse and why?
Jeremiah 29, verse 11.
Okay.
It's my favorite Bible verse. And why it's my favorite Bible verse, it tells me that whatever I do, God have a plan for me here on earth. And once God have a plan for me on earth, and it's a good plan, it's always a good plan, I know that I'm in good hands.
Definitely. Definitely. We're always in good hands when it comes to our Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Always in good hands. Another one, it says, well, this one is kind of funny. Have you ever fallen asleep while praying?
Several times.
Several times. Because, we are very hardworking people.
Especially when it comes to the 3 a.m. prayer. Trust me.
Oh, so you are one of those people that God wake up at some very
Honestly.
unusual time and say,
Yes.
hey, Tash, it's time to
Times
pray.
Yeah.
All right, so now that we are out of the icebreaker session, let's just get right into it. So you've been a Christian for 28 years, correct?
Yes.
I want to know, Tashika, how has that been? How has that journey been, walking with the Lord? I know that you must have some very interesting things to talk about. And I would love to hear it. And I'm sure the members of the GO family would love to hear about it as well.
So I actually got baptized when I was 12 years old. At the time when I made the decision, I went to church and it was altar call. It wasn't anything special, and we were there at the altar amongst other young people, and I decided that I want to make the step. It was about five of us at the time, and I remember when I went home and I said to mommy that, that I'm going to baptize. She said, "You're not ready."
That's what she said.
Mom said, "You're not ready." And
So, all right. So I don't mean to cut you, but they're telling your mother, one of the most important people in your life, say, "Hey, mom, I want to get baptized." Her telling you that you're not ready in that moment. What were you feeling?
when she said that to me, I said to her, I said, "Mother, if today is the first day I'm going to disobey you, I am going to.
Wow.
Because I am going to get baptized."
So what did she say?
She looked at me and I said to her that, well, I'm going to call my deacon and I'm going to tell him that I am packing my things and I am moving home with him and his wife.
Wow, so you were ready to move out of your mother's house.
I was determined.
Because you were determined that you are going to give your life to Christ. Wow. Wow.
I actually called deacon and I said to him that I told mom that I want to get baptized and she said that I am not ready. So prepare to take me home as a daughter.
Okay.
And I think at that point in time was when mommy really realized that,
she's serious.
Yeah. And so the Saturday before baptism, she went to town and she bought me a white dress.
Oh.
And she bring it into her bag and she said, "I have something for you." And she opened the bag. It was a dress and she said, "Here's your dress for your baptism."
Wow. All right. So now that we know you were determined to get baptized, give your life to Christ, and all of that, even
Mm.
willing to move out of your mother's
Yes.
home just just to get that done. I am curious. I'm very curious to know what really sparked that desire to give your life to Christ. What was going through Tashika's mind back then? What made you want to give your life to Christ so bad to the point you were willing to get away from your mother because she felt that you were not ready to make that big step?
All right, so going to Sunday school and listening about heaven and hell, different teachings and the different beliefs and
Mhm.
all of that, I decided that I don't want to go to hell
Oh, okay.
because hearing about hell, it's not a nice place, and I don't want to go there. And I said to myself that I want to go to heaven. I want to be where Jesus is.
Mhm.
And so that is what really caused me to make the decision. Because within myself, I'm thinking, I don't know when I'm going to die. And if the Bible said that it's appointed unto us once to die,
Mhm.
I don't know my time. I met in an accident when I was 9 years old,
Okay.
and I was taken to the Bustamante Hospital. And when I went there, the doctor who saw me, he said to me, I don't understand how you're still alive
Wow.
at 9 years old. And I remember him saying to me that even though my cousin is more critical than I am,
Also, it was you and your cousin at the time that
yes,
met in the accident.
I would have gotten a sudden death.
Oh, okay.
And things like that would go through my mind from time to time. And
Mhm.
I would ask myself the question, what if I had died on that day?
You're there thinking now, would I have made it to heaven
Or hell?
or hell?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to share a little bit more about it? Like what happened on that day? What caused
All right. So we
all of
were
that?
at the bus stop, coming from school. Quite a few of us. I had what, about three cousins along with myself. We normally stand at the bus stop and wait for a bus, and we don't know where this car come from, but out of
Mhm.
the blues, I know I find myself back on the school compound. And then my cousin, she was behind me calling to me, and when she finally reached to me, she said to me, "You're bleeding." And I said to her, "No." I said, "Where's Terian?" That's my other cousin that I
Mhm.
was actually looking for at the time. And she
Didn't know that you were
didn't
even
know that
bleeding.
I was actually in an accident. And she said to me, "You're bleeding." And I said, "No." I said, "Where's Terian? Where's Terian?"
Mhm.
And she said, "Come." And she hold on to me. And when she hold on to me, and she said, "Look down." And when I looked down, that's when I realized that it wasn't sweat that was running down,
What blood?
but it was actually blood.
Wow.
And she take me back down to the scene of the
Wow.
accident. Right, and funny enough, we got beaten that morning to go to school, my cousin and I, because when I woke up the morning and I just never felt like going to school. And my cousin got up and she said to her mommy, "Mommy, I don't feel like going to school." So
Mhm.
because both of us got up the morning and said we don't feel like going to school, they said, "Okay, it's a
Oh,
plan
they thought it
thing."
was a plan.
Plan thing. So we got beaten in the morning.
Wow.
I got a letter to take to my teacher why I was late
Oh, okay.
that morning.
I mean, little did they know the enemy
The
had his
enemy
plans for
had
you,
his
but
plan.
God.
So when they heard about the accident, they actually heard that my cousin died, and
Okay.
her mother was distraught because she said she wouldn't live with herself knowing that we got beaten in the
And
morning,
you guys didn't want to go to
didn't want to
school.
go to school.
Oh my God. I mean, the enemy had his plans. He
But
had his plans.
Jesus had
If
a,
he had the chance to do it, he would have taken you guys out
yep,
completely.
completely. But God
But
was on the job.
and you know, it's just amazing because we tend to find ourselves in certain situations, even as believers, certain tough
Right.
situations where you start questioning everything, asking why me, and wondering when will I get out of this?
Yes.
But you see, when God has a purpose on your life and the enemy knows it,
Yeah.
he tries his very best to get rid of you. No
Yes.
matter how hard it might be, no matter what he has to do, he will do every single thing in his power to get rid of you.
Definitely.
But yeah, man, when there is purpose,
Purpose
it
cannot die.
can't die.
Purpose will never
Can't
die. The enemy will try, trust me, and he has been trying and
Mhm.
still trying, but he will never win.
Never prevail.
Cannot.
But I'm glad you brought that up though, that he's just going to continue to throw the attacks, at your direction, just to get you off track. But my question to you is, being a believer and knowing deep down that hey, the road is rough.
Yeah.
It's very rough. It was never promised that it was going to be easy. Has there ever been a point in your life where you felt like you could not continue because you were just getting fight left, right, and center? You just felt overwhelmed to the point, it's like you feel like you couldn't go no more. Have you ever felt like that?
In my younger Christian journey,
Like when you just started?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I had that feeling, and that feeling comes on because I was a type who would normally go to church and clean and
Mm-hmm.
try to assist in whatever way I can. And
Mm-hmm.
one day I was there, and an older brethren looked at me and said to me, "A position you are work for."
Wow.
Right there and then it just hit me. And I said to myself, as a young person, doing the work of the Lord, and
Yes.
for an older person who I would say this person should be a mentor, this person should be the person who is happy for young persons coming in and want to
Mm-hmm.
do
And
the work of
encouraging
the.
you to
But
continue.
instead, position you work for in a church and you're not
Wow.
gonna get it.
That was the first thought that could come to their mind.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
So right there and then, sometimes I feel like, you know what? Why bother?
Mm-hmm.
But there's one thing I always say to myself:
And what's
I
that?
am not going to church for nobody, but
Nobody at
God.
all.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what nobody's going to say to me, it doesn't matter what they're going to do, I am still going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am going for the Lord, not for them.
Wow.
So even the fights, the talks, I still push through because I know the aim and the desire that I have, and it's to hit heaven goal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to, at the end of the day, when the Lord said you did run well, what did hinder you? I'm going to say, oh, the church brethren them that I had, or the friends
Mm-hmm.
that I had. No.
And funny enough, the brethren that we would be thinking about or we would allow to run us out of the church, so they might make it,
Exactly.
and then we out there
Out
trying to
here,
find a church because we allow people
people to
to push us away and help to hinder our relationship with
with God.
Christ. We allow people to get to us.
Right, right.
Yeah,
So
that tends to
I
happen.
I would like to say to someone who is listening,
Listen,
and
guys.
you're actually on the verge of throwing in the towel because of what persons might say, listen, hold on. Don't give in. Don't give up. You have a aim, you have a desire. And that is, we're going to forget everything that is behind us, and we're going to press towards that mark, which is in Christ Jesus.
Definitely. Definitely. And
Mhm.
especially to the young people out there.
Yes.
If you have the desire to help and clean up the church, whether it's Saturday services you guys have or Sunday service, whichever, if you are called to do things in the church, don't let anybody discourage you. Don't let anyone discourage you from doing the work of the Lord. Because as Miss Roberts mentioned, she's not here, she's not in the church to do anything for man. She's there to please God, to do whatever He has called her to do. And I think that's a very good mindset for us to have, even as young Christians.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Definitely. All right, so in 2005, I became ill. I was basically in heat overdrive. Um, I could not go anywhere by myself because I would pass out. Like it would take nothing for me to just pass out. It was torment.
Mm.
It was torment. So my mother started taking me to the doctor. I was going to UA. They referred me to the neurology section because they were thinking that it's something wrong with my brain.
Yeah.
And they started me on some medication. I started taking the medication, but they weren't helping at all.
Yeah.
So each time I go back, they would increase the dosage because it's just not working. And it happened for 2.5 years.
Wow.
So it was
So
like
2.5 years, you were just feeling this intense
intense
heat
heat.
throughout the body,
Yeah.
and no
And I
one
would
could
pass out
understand what was
what
really
was
causing it.
really causing it.
Wow.
When I'm going to youth group at night, I would call my president and I would say to her, I am leaving out now. Because she know what time it would take for me to leave home to reach church. So if she sees certain time pass and I'm not there,
She
then
knows something is wrong.
she will call my mother and say Tash did not reach church.
Oh, okay.
So they know they would come looking for me.
So all right. So seeing that you mentioned that, is it a case where you would normally faint or something would happen while you are on your way to the youth meetings?
I would faint.
Oh, you would.
I would faint. There was this one particular night that I was on my way, and just as I was entering the bridge,
Mm-hmm.
there was a section of the bridge where the railing is gone. And while I was walking, I know I felt someone hold on to me,
Mm-hmm.
and it was one of my brother cousin, and he said to me, you were stepping right over the bridge. So I
Wow.
was walking over the bridge without even knowing
You didn't realize what was happening.
that I was
You
going
didn't
over the
realize what was
bridge.
happening.
So then my president, she realized that I did not reach church.
Mm-hmm.
So she called my mother and she told my mother that I did not reach church. Then I saw mommy coming down in a taxi to look for me, and that's when they saw me sitting to the side where he put me to sit down, and he told her what was happening.
Wow. So what happened after that? At what point did anyone realize what was truly going on with you?
All right. It
Because you said
was
the doctor was giving you a set of medication,
medication.
but it just wasn't working even when they increased the dosage.
Right.
So what happened eventually?
There was this preacher, he's all the way from St. Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
I've never met him before. He was just talking to a friend of my mother and he heard my name.
Wow.
So he actually asked him about me
Mm-hmm.
and he gave him my mother's number and he called my mother, and mom told me that the question that he asked her on the phone was, what is wrong with your daughter?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, nothing, she's just sick. And he said to her, no, she's not just sick. Have you noticed her features? Oh, it has changed and all of that. The texture of her hair
Mm-hmm.
has changed. Everything about her has changed. And she said, yes, I noticed the change. And he said to her, can I come and see her? And she said yes. So he set up an appointment to come to my house.
Mm-hmm.
And he came there the Monday. And when he walked down into the yard, he was looking everywhere. And I was standing on the veranda
Mm-hmm.
and he stepped past me and he caught everybody inside the house, and then he came back out and he looked at me. This man have never seen me before. And he said to me, you're the reason why I am here.
Okay.
He said, you're the reason why you're here. And he said, before I start, let me pray. and started to pray. And then he told me exactly what was happening. Like right down to the T.
Mm-hmm.
He called names.
Wow.
He called names.
So what was happening?
So he told me that
Because I'm getting the impression that this wasn't just any normal sickness.
no, it wasn't. After he started calling names, then I realized what really was happening. No, I was always a reserved person,
Mm-hmm.
not going anywhere. So I was like classified as the boring one.
Okay.
So I started going out with some friends and
Mm-hmm.
cousins. No, one particular friend, male friend, who persons would have thought that we were involved
Mm-hmm.
in a relationship, which that was not the case because they knew that I was a Christian and they know the level that I go.
Mm-hmm.
And they know me when it comes down to my Christianity. I don't play. He had this friend. They were together and they broke up. So
Mm-hmm.
they thought that we were together.
Okay.
So that was what led to them going wherever they want to go just to get rid of me out of the
Wow.
picture.
And this
Yeah,
was the result.
this
You
was the
feeling this
result.
extreme heat
Heat.
for what did you say? 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
And you
Yeah,
you no one knew what was happening until this person came to your home.
yeah. I remember one preacher came to a particular church and he called me by name and he said, "Are you going to stay there and let them kill her?"
Mm.
I wasn't at church, but persons were there, so they were the ones giving
Yes.
the response. And my mother got the message, and the following day we went to the crusade.
Mm-hmm.
It was so packed because everybody heard my name. So everybody wanted to hear what this, and it's a famous preacher. Everybody wanted to hear what this preacher was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when they hand over the mic to him, he said, "Church full. As everybody come to hear what I have to say, but I'm not going to say anything tonight."
Oh.
I sat there and I listened. After church was over, the persons were in church.
That did
They were in
what
church.
they did to you.
They were in
Mm-hmm.
church. And we were on the opposite side. 'Cause by this, I knew exactly who they were. And I remember that man walked up the stage, the pulpit, and he walked straight down in front of the lady. Maybe she did not know or understand what he was saying,
Mm-hmm.
but he walked down and it was a group of persons standing there, so he didn't single out anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But he went down and his remarks were, "All in a church, you come with it?"
Oh. Wow.
And he said, "Don't let me expose you in here." And he walked back up and he continued preaching. No, when church over, I sat and because I don't move with the crowd because by this my body is weak. I
Mm-hmm.
lost a lot of weight. Like I left from a 200 pound to like 100.
Mm-hmm.
So I was mere skin and bone.
Wow.
Yes, I was literally wasted. And I sat there and my mother, she sat beside me, but my mother is very observant.
Mm-hmm.
When I say observant, she was watching them. And she said she realized they are not moving. Church empty and they are not moving. And the lady keep looking at me. And she said she noticed the minute I got up, the mother get up. and she is actually walking at the pace that I am walking. And when she was about to meet me in the aisle, my mother slipped between the two of us, and she felt something hit her in her back.
Wow.
My mother could not walk for 3 days. 3
So let me
days.
try to understand. Is
My
it that they came to add to what they were already doing
Yes,
to you?
yes.
Mighty God.
So my mother could not walk for 3 days. And we were there, and God is good.
God is good.
God is good. God is good. And I prayed for my mother. Even in the state that I was, I used my olive oil and I prayed for her. When I actually found out exactly what I was up against, I threw away the medications. And I said to her, I said, Mommy, I'm not taking any more of these. These can't help me. Persons were coming to her and they were saying to her, you're going to make your penny stay and dead. Kara, Kara. I looked at her and I said, listen, if you dare,
Where did they want your mother to take you?
the witch doctor.
Wow.
And I said to her, if you dare carry me go anywhere apart from me, depending on God, I will disown you. And I said that to her, and she said to me, she said, Tash, I would not carry you anywhere. And I started drinking olive oil. I eat, sleep, drink olive oil.
Olive oil.
And that was what I took. I remember on the 9th of April, I was supposed to go to a rally in St. Mary. And I asked my pastor to send me, and she said to me, Tash, you're so weak. I don't think I can send you there. And I started crying. And I remember saying to her, I said, Rev, if this is the day I'm going to die, I have to go. We went there. And while we were there, when it was the time for my church to sing, we went up. We start a song, and I said to my cousin, stop. And she said, what happened? I said, remember, this is not the song that we come to sing. And she looked at me. But while I was there, the atmosphere changed. Trust me, changed. And I said to her, they are here. And she said, who is here? And I said to her, I said, they come for me. She never understand what I was saying. And I said, they come for me.
So they weren't satisfied with what they had already done. They were determined
They
to
were
finish you.
determined to finish me. When I said to her, they're here, and she said, say something. And I said to her, I said, no. I said, we're going to sing first. And after we finished the item, I ran out of the church. I ran out of the church and I went outside and she ran behind me and she said, what happened? And I said, I am talking, but I have no life. They thought I was joking, but I wasn't. And I said to her, yes, I am talking to you, but I don't have any life in my body. And she said, how can that be? And I said to her, I went to the front of the car and I put my hand under the wheel and I said to the driver, start the car and run it over my hand. Because I want to prove to you guys that I don't have any feeling. And him said, no. She said, Tash, stop the foolishness. I said, all right, I'm going to sit and I want every one of you to start pinching me. And they start to pinch. And
And you couldn't feel a thing.
that's when they realized I was serious. And my cousin started crying. She realized that I really wasn't feeling anything. And they rushed home with me. And when I reached home, I remember I reached home and I threw up. And when I threw up, that was it. It took me inside. Mommy took me inside and she put me in the settee to lay down. And that was when I felt like everything just gone. Like literally, that was it. And I know I heard Grandpa said to her, call the police. And he said to her, write down the time of the death. I was hearing these, but I could not respond.
So your family thought you were dead. They
Yeah,
thought you were gone.
gone. Everything else was gone except the hearing. I was hearing everything that they were saying, but I wasn't responding. I wasn't breathing, as my mother said.
Oh
I
my.
wasn't breathing. And she started crying. She called Tony police station and she reported the time.
Wow.
She didn't make the call. After she made the call, I felt like somebody used a needle or a pin or some sharp object and stick me in the side.
Mm.
And then she said, she's not dead. They called the taxi and they rushed with me to you. And I went there. When I went to you, it's like everything was alright.
They couldn't find
They
anything
couldn't
wrong.
find anything wrong. When they pulled my file line, the only thing they did was to put a thermometer.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor that I saw first, the neurologist that I saw first, when I went to him, he did not tell me. He was so aggressive, and I couldn't understand why.
Mm.
But after that night, the 9th of April 2007, it's like that was a resurrection morning for me.
Mm.
So when I went there and the doctor said that they were going to increase the dosage of medication that I was on to 1,000 milligrams. I said, no. I said, I already stopped taking the dosage that you have given me and I'm not going to take anymore. Anyway, they write it because, as doctors, they have to do what they have.
Yeah, they're
I
they're
told them, but when I cried
doing
out
their
to
job.
them, I just threw them away because one of the doctors said to the other, we can't put her on 1,000 because they're going to kill her. That was her exact word. Can't put me on 1,000 milligrams.
Mm-hmm.
So the medication that I was on, Epilin, 500. I was on Tegretol. I went on Tegretol 250. Then when I went back, they put me on 500 because each time I go, they increase the dosage to try to see if it will help. But
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't helping. I reached 800 milligram. 800 milligram I reached.
Wow.
That was when the doctor said that we can't put her on 1,000 because look at her body.
And it's just not helping.
Just not helping. And she asked me how I feel when I used to take them. And I tell her how I feel. She said, all right. She left you and I had a follow up appointment for the neurologist. And when I went back,
Mm-hmm.
by then my body started to change. So I started feeling different. And this was after the pastor from St. Elizabeth, the one I told you that I never knew, never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
This was after he. And when I went back for my appointment, he looked at me and he smiled. And he said to me, good morning, Miss Roberts. And I said, good morning. He said, my name is Dr. Morgan. And I looked at him and he looked at me and he smiled. And he said to me, the very morning that you walked into my office, I could not tell you my name because you weren't alone. And I could not let them know who your doctor was.
Wow.
And I just sat there and I just looked at him and I just smiled. And he said to me, but you're looking different. But as I said, purpose cannot die.
Can't die.
And if it was left up to me, they would have died. But I I have a forgiving heart
Mm-hmm.
and when I find out it was them, the taxi who took them, confessed to my taxi driver. He told my mother.
Everything is now coming to light.
Yeah, he told my mother. Had he known it was me that morning, he would not have taken the job to carry them.
Mhm.
They went to St. Thomas, but which doctor in St. Thomas said he
Wow.
would not have taken them had he known it was me. But while they were planning
Hmm.
to get rid of me, God had purpose. God had a different plan.
Definitely.
And that's why Jeremiah 29 verse 11,
Hmm.
that will never leave me. And I remember after I started feeling better, and one particular prayer that I prayed was, God, if these persons are ever in need, I want to be the one.
Wow.
It happened. And I did help. And I helped without any sort of feeling inside of me
Hmm.
of what they did to me.
Wow.
I did. And I did it from a true heart. I did it from a forgiving heart. And if I have to do it again, I would do it all over again.
It's like nothing
It's
happened.
like nothing. Because if I already forgiven you, that's it for me.
Mm.
I don't hold it against you. And if I see you in need and you need help, I'm not going to remember all of the things that you did to me. You are
Mhm.
in need. You need help.
You're going to help. Your
I am a
priority
child
is
of
to
God.
assist.
My priority is to help you.
Mm.
Make sure that you're okay, and I'm going to do it. And I'm
Wow.
going to do it from a willing heart. And that's me.
Wonderful.
They had three things on their agenda.
Hmm.
One was to kill me.
Hmm.
The other was to cripple me. And the next thing was for me to go insane.
Wow.
So if it is that they can't kill me, then I would either
They
cripple,
they would have tried the other
right?
two.
So I would either cripple or I would go on insane. So
Mm.
that was why I actually have to sleep with the fan at my head because my head was like hot,
Mm.
hot. I want to say hot is not just like it was like a stove was turned on.
Wow.
I couldn't sleep. It was just uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable. It was unbearable,
Mm.
but I fought through it with the help of God.
By the
Because
grace of God, you got
if it
through it.
wasn't the grace of God, I would not have been here today.
Mighty God.
And when I started working at Stony Hill,
Hmm.
that was when I really found out the medications that I was on were mental health medications.
Wow.
They were literally mental health medications. I saw them. I saw them in the pharmacy, and I spoke to one of the pharmacists, and I said to her, "Why these medications are here? What are they for?"
Hmm.
And I was explaining to her that I used to be on them when I was sick,
Mm.
and she said, "Those are mental health medications." And I said, "But I wasn't mad. But their
But
intention,
yes, their plan was to
their
get
plan,
you to
but
that
that
point.
wasn't God's plan."
Wow.
Also, what they meant for evil, but turn it around
For good.
for good. And today still alive,
Glory
and
be to God. Great
yeah,
things He has
God
done.
has been so good, and I appreciate God so much.
So, just sitting here and hearing, just listening to your testimony, it moved something inside me. It's nothing that I've ever gone through. And honestly, I don't really know anyone close to me that has ever gone through anything like that. It's quite scary, actually.
Yes, it
It
is.
is quite
I
scary.
I had to fight for my life.
Mm.
I had to fight. Thank God He never left me. The Lord tells us, we are victorious through
Mm.
Him. And if we're going to fight battles and don't think that we can win, it doesn't even make any sense to start the
No,
Christian journey.
makes
Because this
sense.
Christian journey, it is filled with
Many
fights
battles.
and many
Many
battles.
battles.
I
Every
overcome.
day is a new battle.
Yeah,
Over,
definitely.
over, and over, and over. It's like you go to your bed and you just have to relax and prepare yourself for tomorrow because you never know what's going to come. You never know because the enemy is just always around the corner with something new.
Yeah, and once you have that determined heart, trust me, it's going to help to push you.
Definitely. But I'm just grateful that the Lord really stuck by your side. He stood by your side and and assisted you to get through that really scary time. But he's just a good God. He's a good
He's
God.
amazing.
He is amazing because the enemy wanted to remove you from the face of this earth, but God said, "I'm not done with you. Him never ever start with your good." And
Exactly.
here you are now, newly ordained minister.
Yeah. Well, I was ordained as a volunteer in 2009,
Mm-hmm.
and then in 2012 I was promoted to a worker,
Mm-hmm.
and now 2005 I'm a library. So in our church we have different ranks
Mm-hmm.
that ministers will go up. So
So
there's
explain this one to us that you got recently in 2025.
the light brigade.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that's the third ranking that we have. So you
Okay.
have the volunteer, who is the junior minister, we call minister in training,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the worker, and then the light brigade. So the light brigade is the second rank.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's it's work, work, and more work.
It's just more
It
work.
does upgrade
Yeah.
from where you were.
The
You
higher you go, the
minister, the
more
more
work
work,
you
and
have
you
to
know
do.
the higher you go, the more testing and the more trials
Mm,
will come. But
definitely.
as a light brigade, you can pastor your own church. You can do baptisms by
Mm-hmm.
yourself. You can do christening by yourself. You can serve communion by yourself. So it's like you're literally graduated from college and you start to work.
Start to work.
Yes. So
Wow. But that's amazing though. That's really amazing. Even sharing your testimony about when you started and you were trying to help out in the church and that person passed the remark that you are if you are trying to get a position or
position.
something like that. I'm just glad that you didn't allow that person to discourage you, because if you had allowed that person to discourage you, and maybe you wouldn't even maybe you would probably feel like you don't want to come back
To
to
come back. Right.
church,
Maybe
even
I
as a
don't
young
need to
person,
in church.
even as a young person, because
Maybe I won't
it is so easy these days for a person to hurt our feelings and we be like, oh, you know what, I'm not go back
Nah,
at that
but I
church
go
eh.
back to the church.
It is so easy. It is
Yes.
so easy. But I'm glad that you stuck to it. You trusted God, and even through what you went through in 2005, going through that spiritual attack for over 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
You went
Exact
through
two and a
all of
half
that.
years.
You found out who was behind this attack. You
Yes.
found out who was behind the attack. They were in need. You assisted this person. Who could it be but God?
But God,
So I'm really just glad that you decided to trust God and you decided to stick with your faith. You didn't
yes.
allow the enemy to run you, because he knew the potential
Yes.
that you had or you have. He knew that the Lord had great plans for you. He didn't know exactly what these plans were, but he knew
He
that he
knew.
had to get rid of you
Yeah.
before you would have started to blossom
Blossom.
into this beautiful and
Yeah.
powerful woman of God that you are. And I I'm not only speaking for myself, but I'm also speaking on behalf of um the friends and family that you have. I know that they feel extremely blessed to have
Yes.
such a sweet
Yes.
soul
Yes.
like you. I know that they are truly blessed because I am. I'm truly blessed to have come to know someone like you with such a pure heart, not afraid to do good, even
Not
when
to
it's
cut
not
you.
being reciprocated.
As you mentioned the word pure art,
Mm-hmm.
your mom always said that to me.
Mm-hmm.
She always said, Tash, you are one with a pure heart.
A pure heart.
Your mom always
We have to call it what it is.
said,
We have to
always
call
said
it
it.
what it is. So,
Yeah.
we have to wrap up. We have to wrap up now. We have to wrap up. Unfortunately, we're probably going to have a part two as well because I know you have more things that you want to talk about.
Lots of
Um,
testimony.
and we'll probably find that happening on this channel because a lot of people out there, they have so much to talk about, they have
Yes.
so much to share, but such little time. It's like there is just not enough time to get it all out. But we're just going to go according to God's plan, and as He creates the opportunities, we're just going to take it.
Yes.
So I don't know about the others, but I'm looking forward to having you again. I'm looking forward to hearing hearing the things that God has planned for you in the future. You are a wonderful person, you're a wonderful mother, you are just good at what you do. And what's admirable is the way how you rely on God through it all, no matter what, no matter the challenges that you might be facing throughout life. You just trust God through it all, and that's very admirable, very admirable. So Miss Tashika Robert, I just want to thank you for making yourself available. I know you had to babysit, guys. If you hear a little voice in the background, her niece is here, but she brought her because she knew that she had to come on Gracefully Open to share her testimony.
Definitely.
So, yes, thank you for making yourself
It
available.
has been a pleasure being here.
Continue being the sweet person that you are. Continue being that light in this dark world. The enemy is going to continue to throw his fiery darts. He's going to continue to challenge you in every way possible. But with God, you're going to make it with God. Um, so that's the end of this session. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And remember that God loves you more than you can imagine. So until next time, again, my name is Mona. I'm the host for this wonderful channel. Um, until next time, see you guys.
See you guys.